What's good, my man? What's good, brother?
What up? What up?
Hey, man, it's good to see you on a
Oh,
Sunday, of course, as
oh,
always,
absolutely, guys. Hey, it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lord's Day. Very exciting. Bolt Bros.
Y
Guys,
yeah.
I love this hat, by the way. Angel hooked me up at the tailgate. This hat is so fly. With the Charger Bolt Bros merch right here, Bolt Up Don't Punt, right? Down
Yes,
below.
sir.
Check out
Yeah.
the Zazzle down below, guys. Wow, the chat room is getting spicy already, boys.
Yeah, dude. People heated all week, though, man. We everyone's been heated all
You
week.
know,
You know it. Yeah.
that's a good point, right? Like we've been discussing this a while, Kyle. And by the way, guys, just so you know, I'm gonna move my camera here for a second. Oh, there we go. Just so you know, James cannot make it. He's very sick. So send your wishes out to James. I wish he was here. He's not feeling great.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, allergies, flu. Might have the
Could be the
Rona. Hopefully, he doesn't have the
could
Rona, but
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Could be the Rona. Yep, yep. We never know, man. Hey, it's
I
all
mean,
good.
nowadays we don't know what's going on at all. But
It's just in the conversation now, It's just like whatever. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's just Rona. It's just Rona.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love that the chat room is getting all spicy. This is amazing. This is great,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I mean, I love
That's
this.
good.
We're a bunch of hot potatoes right now. This is great.
Yeah, this is great.
So, guys, we want to talk about the bye week. We want to talk about trade deadlines. We want to talk about all of that. Okay. And by the way, look how freaking sick this hat is, guys. I am freaking out. I
Yeah,
love this
dude.
damn hat, dude.
It
Like,
looks so good,
guys,
man.
by the way,
Yep.
forever,
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Yeah.
forever.
Yep.
So, guys, if you want to get some information on where you get this hat, let us know. We'll put it in the description below. Yada
Yeah.
yada. So, anyways, local crew at the tailgate, super fun, guys. And again, I will just say this: as Charger fans, go to the damn tailgate. If you're not even going to go to the game, just go to the tailgate. Have a good time. It is so fun. Am I right, Kyle?
No, dude, you're absolutely right. And truth is, I'm actually starting to think that I want to do that instead of going to the games. I'll just sell my tickets and I'll just go hang out at the tailgate and then just go home and just like
deuces. We're done.
Deuces. It's like, nah, I ain't got to walk going to the stadium anymore. Shoot.
So, guys, okay, we got to talk about the Chargers. So, look, here's the thing. Guys, we're 4-3. We're 4-3, guys. Okay, in the chat, do we feel like we're 4-3 at this point? Do we feel like we're 4-3?
No, I don't.
Okay, what's your thoughts, Kyle?
I mean, yeah, I don't think they were 4-3 at all, dude. I mean, like, look, like the wins that we had,
yeah,
very very easily could have been losses, and like, yeah. I mean, they're hands down. We could easily be 2-5 right now. So yeah. Yep. We could have potentially even been 1-6. Some people said, look, I mean, it's like we obviously the Browns game, we won that game on luck, sheer luck entirely. And like we just like any of our wins, we've just barely squeaked by the skin of our teeth. So because our offense is just not gelling, like, I mean, clearly, I mean, obviously you can blame injuries, you can blame this or that or whatever, but no, it's the play calling, we're Lombardi's using freaking Playbook out of Madden. Like,
right.
What do you, yeah.
Well, and it's an interesting discussion, guys, right? So again, what do you guys think? Aether, yes, I know, yeah. We don't want to be too negative. Look, we're in a better position than most teams right now. Now, I guess on a positive note, let me be positive a little bit at this point. We had this time to level set a little bit as a team and say, okay, what are we going to do moving forward? My only argument has always been that, look, we're not going out and getting players. We're not going out and, doing anything to really improve the team now.
Right.
That's a problem. But I also understand the argument. And guys, what do you guys think? Seriously, And by the way, let me just level set for just a second. Part of the reason, actually, the only reason why we did this channel is we want to communicate with the fans
Yeah.
of the Chargers, right? So, what do you guys think? Literally, put your thoughts in the chat. And guys, smash the like, please, because that does help. We want more Charger fans to see our videos just because we want to engage with more fans, right? Because it's an interesting discussion for all of us. But my argument is that, look, we have a great team. The problem is that we've had a lot of injuries, right? And the other part of that conversation is, well, do we go out and get more players, right? And I was just talking to Kyle about this. We're going to do a video tomorrow. I'll probably do the video tomorrow that's going to talk about trade deadline rumors, who we're going to pick up,
Right.
edge rushers, wide receivers, cornerbacks, all the above. Those are the three areas I think we probably need players right now.
Right.
But, the reality is this, right? Like, we have a good team, but is our team good enough right now? I would argue the answer is no. And that's why everyone's frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're not. I mean, think about this for just a second, guys. Just a second. Palmer, concussion. Mike Williams, 4 weeks. Allen, we don't know if he's coming back against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Ham is out, most likely. Well, he might be back. Concussion again. He's got concussion problems. Who do we throw the ball to at this point? Right?
Yeah. Right.
That's a concern, right? Who's going to be even available against the Falcons? And I've been saying this all year, guys. 2 running back sets. At least we got more running backs. So let's have more 2 running back sets. Spread it out on the backfield, have them do some routes on the edge. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different options.
Yeah.
Guys, I love this team. Kyle loves this team.
Yeah.
And we want to see it succeed. But holy smokes, what do we do to do different at this point, right? It's like there's nervousness here, right? There's nervousness. It's like, oh, what do we do? Where would we go at this point? So anyways, I'm rambling at this point, Kyle. So
no, it's fine. No, I get it. I mean, obviously, the writing's on the wall that a lot of stuff ain't working. Yeah, we're 4-3, and a win is a win is a win, no matter how ugly it is, or whatever. And that's what's going to get us into the playoffs and stuff. So, and dang, you blasted that thing all over the place, man. Dang, bro.
I know. I got the little ones right here on the top.
Hey,
too.
Man, you gotta put those other places.
Here's
man.
my gym. This is my gym I work out at.
Oh yeah,
that's where I get my muscles. That's where I get my muscles.
And you're absolutely right there, SF Faust. Our team is not connected. Individuals are having
100%.
some of their best statistical years. Callahan, Tranquil, Asante, but they can't put a play together as a unit. And that's that's such a truth. Like, I know some people talked about when we're watching the all-ins, they even just see Joe Lombardi is very disconnected to what to the team itself. It seems like he's just kind of going in there, okay, so here's a play, and here's how the route here, oh, you should have been over here as opposed to here. He's not not being a guy, I guess, he's just going through the motions, it seems like, I don't know. But like you're saying though too, Andy, and it's so true. It's we're I think we're angry because we love the team so much. I think, and we're passionate about the team, and we know and we expected so much more from the team than what we are right now. I think going into the season, I think we did think that we may have been. No, we were kind of hopeful that we were going to be 6-1 at this point, right? I think
something like that. I was thinking 5-2. I was thinking
5-2,
5-2 at this point. Something like that.
I
But
think
either way,
I was thinking, I think I was thinking 6-1. I think James as well, 6-1. But obviously we're 4-3, and the bigger problem is that none of these wins have been decisive wins.
that's a good word for it. Not decisive.
The Jaguars beating us was a decisive win. And the Seahawks beating us was a decisive win. But
I was at the Seahawks the Jaguars game. I was I want to freaking die. Yes, I want to die. This is horrible. Well, and you were at the Seahawks game too.
Yep. Trying to forget it.
Plenty of alcohol and marijuana. It's legal in California, boys.
That's
Let it
right.
go. Let it
I need
go.
I need to follow Arrested Development a little bit and get me some forget me nots after the game. You know.
Forget me. Oh my God. Is that our another shirt? Is that our another shirt?
Oh my God!
Oh
It
God.
could be.
Oh my God, guys.
Yeah,
Down in the description below. Is that our next shirt? Do we need some forget me not pill?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love that.
And it's a
I
little
love
pill
that.
with a Chargers bolt on it or something
A
like that.
charger
Yeah.
bolt, a charger forget me not pill. What do you think about that? The forget me not pill. Holy smoke. Hold on. How about
Oh, you're breaking up really bad. Oh yeah, man. Oh my God. Yeah, I think he already took the forget me not pill because he's dead.
Oh.
He's no, yeah, because you're lagging like crazy right now, bro. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
keep going.
That help? Yeah, okay. Well, okay, so people are talking about Anthony's comment here, and it says right here, Chargers fans are starting to show up at SoFi. The Chargers, to make something happen, if Staley doesn't get rid of Lombardi, then Staley will also have to go. And we bring on Sean Payton. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that. We took a W today. Yeah, a lot of people do still want Sean Payton to show up and stuff. And I think that is, I really don't think it's going to happen in the way that people think it's going to happen. I mean, obviously, I talk a lot about this stuff too on Wednesday. I guess he's going to reset his Wi-Fi, but I guess we'll just hang out for a little bit here, guys. I don't see us actually picking up Sean Payton. Definitely not mid-season. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen after the season, or maybe later on down. Okay, he jumped back in. Here we go. There you go. You're looking good. We're just talking a little bit of Sean Payton. Anthony's talking about. So,
There we
Brandon,
go. Am I back now?
Yeah, you're back now. Yeah. We have a no
Sorry,
fans
guys.
narrative. That's a dead season. But you know what though? Like Brandon, there's a lot of fans that show up nowadays. Like, I mean, there's a lot
There
of
really are.
Chargers fans.
Yep.
There's a lot of Chargers fans that showed up for the Jags game and the Seahawks games. I mean, obviously, we're never going to be able to sell out the Raiders game at SoFi. Let's be honest. It's like another home game for the Raiders, you know? So, yeah, Bull Bros.
Bull Rose.
Bull Bros. Yeah.
So, one of the things I was going to say, Kyle, is that, look, the reality is this: the Chargers are a talented team, and I understand the concept that we're frustrated that we're not doing as well as we wanted. But again, the benefit is we're 4-3 at this point. We just got to make sure we execute as we go moving forward. But the narrative is that, we're losing players like J.C. Jackson. We've obviously lost Joey Bosa. Now we're seeing Mike Williams go down. Keenan Allen's a complete question mark. Parham is who the hell knows.
Yeah.
Palmer is who the hell knows, right? Guys, I could literally go down the list of everyone we thought would be our top 10 players, and 8 out of the 10 are now gone. And we all know that we have what, guys? No depth. Back in the days, we have no depth.
Yeah.
And I really feel like, and I'm recapping at this point because I think that's why we're all so frustrated about the Chargers at this moment, is they have no depth, being nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right on that in thinking that, Kyle?
No, definitely. I
it's
totally agree with that.
More of a depth question.
Yeah, it's a depth question, and honestly, I know, you talked a lot about Tom Telesco in your previous video. I think that we released on Friday, right?
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest problem with Telesco is that he drafts very well for our starters and our first rounders or whatever, but our depth has always been ass. It's it's been terrible. I think right now we have a pretty good depth in our cornerbacks position with Michael Davis. And because truth is, I like him, and I feel like when he was out there, as opposed to J.C. Jackson when he got benched. Our corner, Russell Wilson couldn't do jack squat when Michael Davis was out there. So
For sure.
that's a good depth piece right there. We have Michael Davis to back up J.C. Jackson, but then now Michael Davis is going to be clearly the guy for that side of the field now too. But yeah, it's all about the depth, and that's the problem is that Tom Telesco clearly he's not going to do jack squat during this trade thing. So because our depth is going to suffer for this, what are we doing? What the F we doing, bro?
Well, so I'll push back a little bit on that, right?
Okay.
So Mike Davis was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
And Austin Eckler was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
So yes, I would agree that there are some problems with his drafting. But if you watch my management video that I just did Friday, was it Friday? I think is when I did.
It was Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that video, I think, really is a good breakdown of Tom Telesco, Brandon Staley, so on and so forth. Because I really do believe that bottom line, there are issues in regards to, making players better. And I think that's a coaching issue, not a general management issue. Because my argument is this, is that the people that we are drafting, guess what? That's Brandon Staley 100%.
Yeah.
110%.
Right.
I don't think it's anybody else but Brandon Staley that's making those picks.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those situations where you're like, okay, but they got to execute the system. Now, let me give you a great example. You talk about J.C. Jackson and Mike Davis.
Mm-hmm.
J.C. Jackson was in Bill Belichick's defense for years, and he was successful. Right. But he comes to a different defense. And this is a perfect example of the argument of, do we really need players now, or should we not get players at all? Because my thought is, okay, if you pick up players halfway through the season, they're not part of the team. They don't quite understand what they're doing. They don't have the benefit of the offseason, understanding the playbook. They're just rushed into the system. Can they really understand what's going on? So Mike Davis knows Brandon Staley's system. That's the difference. That's why he's better than a J.C. Jackson.
I can see that, yeah.
In my opinion. But at the end of the day, I still think that, look, we still need to figure out how to make it work. Now, but I do think our management team thinks, well, you know what? It doesn't really matter because everyone's going to come back at some point and we're going to be healthy and we should be fine for player front. Well, are we really though? Right? I mean,
yeah.
But okay, so let's put another question down in the chat below.
Okay, sure.
Has the offensive room? Wait. Okay, has Joe Lombardi lost the offensive side of the house, or I don't know how you want to say it? The offensive side of the team.
Offensive locker room.
Yeah, offensive locker room. That's good. Let's go ahead and say it. Yep. Because my thought is the answer is yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I guess you want me to say yeah, and I fully agree. I mean, because clearly, there's a disconnect with his play calls, and what this team can do, and what this team is capable of. I mean, when you see literally him picking literally 5 different offensive plays, that's it. Apparently, the rumor is that he has a playbook that's this thick.
Yes.
But he only uses 5 plays, something like that, and it's literally the same thing. Little run out 10 yards, kind of curl, and just come right back. What is this? Every single play is like that. And of course, we saw on Twitter that one of the plays that he played was literally straight out of Madden.
Yep.
And and clearly, and these players they're looking at this dude. I played that play on Madden just the other day, man. What the heck you doing here? What is going on here? It's like Keenan Allen said, what the F we doing?
Well, and I think there are so many arguments around that in general that guys, and I've said this 100 times, right? Like, by the way, I watched Red Zone all day up to this point, 100%
Mhm.
up to this point. I watched the Jets game. I watched. By the way, Raiders laid an egg. First time they were shut out since what 2014, right, James? Something like that.
Oof.
And
Yeah.
love seeing them suck. 100% love it. Do not care about the Raiders at all. But my argument is that a lot of the plays I saw were like jet sweeps, lots of motion, lots of just unusual formations. And I've said this 100 times over in the NFL. If they know what you're doing, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
You're dead in the water. You're
Mhm.
not going to. You're
Right.
dead. There's
Right.
you can't do anything to fix that.
Yeah.
And so the problem is if they're and Joe Lombardi, guys, I go back to that Seattle play where we went on fourth. Was it 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 or
Yeah.
whatever? And oh my God, like the middle was jammed. And for some reason we thought, let's just go up the middle. I'm like, guys, we went up the middle for what reason? Like there was no chance that was going to work. Like,
Exactly.
why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why not audible out of it? Why didn't Justin Herbert audible out of it? Say, sorry, guys, we're doing something different. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that I think need to be fixed 100%. Now,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm also going to say, okay, so what's the thoughts on Joe Lombardi losing the locker room? What I'm seeing is yes, for the most
I
part.
think Smoke Dog put one in there. So yeah. Oh yeah. There Anthony says it right there. Yes. So it's like yes, I believe he has. We are questioning the play calls. Imagine the players. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and why do that right then?
Right.
I think Aether says no. Anthony,
Injuries hurt us.
yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Smoke
Issue.
Smoke
Now,
Dog here.
the argument is, are we not calling the right plays or are we not executing the right plays? Here's the disconnect from a fan perspective, right? We hear Brandon Staley go, we're not executing correctly. We're not doing this right. We're not doing that.
Mhm.
But from a fan perspective, that's what? Sorry, you're not coaching them correctly to run your plays correctly. There's a big difference there, right? Like that's a huge discrepancy of what you're telling us as a fan, right? I mean, I don't know how Sally said, hey, well, I called the right play, but such and such was in the wrong position. Well, that's your job to put them in the right position, right? So, anyways, it's a funny argument back and forth in this situation. But anyways, maybe the other thought we should ask is who should we go after in our trade deadline? By the way, the first is the trade deadline. Who do you guys think we should go after? Right? We're talking, there's 3 positions right now: wide receiver, edge rusher, and what's the other one? Let me think. I
Probably
keep hearing
cornerback.
running back, but running back doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, in my opinion. To me, wide receiver and edge rusher are the only 2 that matters to me. But what do you guys think? Um, is there another position I'm missing? Because all the things I keep saying is just edge rusher and receiver.
Yeah, I think cornerback could be another one. I mean, we might have
Oh,
like pretty
cornerback.
good.
That's the other
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the other one.
yeah,
Cornerback.
yeah. To replace J.C. Jackson and stuff like that, you know. But I mean, we got. I mean, I think we got some solid depth in that position because I think didn't Staley draft like 10 quarterbacks or we had like a whole bunch of people there, you know. So
Ton of
yeah,
DBs. Ton of DBs. Yeah,
yeah, a
yeah. You
lot of
got
DBs. Yeah,
Jasper Taylor. You got Dean
yeah,
Leonard. You
yeah.
got everything. You got
Right.
everybody.
Yeah. So we might
See,
be
and that's
okay in that
actually
position. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, and running back, I think we're fine, right? We got Austin
Yeah. Me
Eckler.
too.
We still haven't seen anything from Spiller at this point. So, but what's up, Richie? How we doing?
Yeah, buddy.
Aether, how we doing?
SF
Guys,
Faust
it's
says
so
here.
good seeing all you guys.
Yeah, it's good seeing you guys all here on the Sunday here. So Lombardi says, here you go. I'm gonna click this one here. This is going. Lombardi is not utilizing individuals' talents on the field. No one is being schemed open on a regular basis.
Percent,
Yeah. So
100%.
that's just kind of
In fact, I couldn't have said
that's
it better
answering our other
myself.
question. Yeah, that's answering our other question about not utilizing the offensive locker room. So it's like it's just wild, man. It's really um shoot, what is it? It's just mind boggling. What he's doing for the team.
Well, not only that, but guys, I've talked about Gerald Everett. I think Gerald Everett is an absolute talent, right? I think he came to the
Yeah.
Chargers because he felt like he would be at a bit with a better quarterback and he would be more successful. The weird thing is he hasn't been that much more successful. He's been successful, but not that much more successful.
Mhm.
And we're not scheming for his abilities because I think he might even be listed as an athlete, right? And so,
Straight up an athlete.
yeah, like truly, like again, I don't look at him as a tight end, really. I mean, yeah, he blocks fairly well. He's a big guy. He's too big to be a you know wide receiver or even a running back for that matter. So he's got to be a tight end, but he's very athletic for his size. So and that's kind of my point, right? So I think we should utilize him more, and we have not to this point,
Right.
right? I think he's a guy that we're underutilizing. We're relying
Yeah.
too much on Austin Eckler, which is fine,
Mhm.
but he's a little guy, right? How long can
Yeah.
he last the way he is, right? And I
Right.
understand. So, anyways, there's a lot to be said about that for sure.
Yeah.
And Rich, yeah, hey, the Donkeys won. Good job, Rich. Very
Yeah,
excited.
and I know he's saying it's like don't congratulate you, because like the center was finally replaced. But I mean, a win is a win is a
Yeah,
win, man. Like
yeah.
us Chargers fans, we know about
Hey,
ugly wins all season.
that's all we've had all season, right? Like we
Yeah.
haven't had great wins, right? And you can argument all day and say, well, okay, fine, but no, they're ugly wins. They're not great wins.
Mhm.
They're not
Yeah.
exciting wins, right? And unfortunately, winning ugly and losing uglier is, and I've said this a number of times. So, okay, so let's continue going through what's going on. My other thought is, Kyle, I was thinking about
What's up?
the offense. I know there's people after on the offensive side of the ball to the trade deadline. Now, the question on this too, guys. There's a give and take on that conversation, right? If we go after Elijah Moore, what are we willing to give up for Elijah
Mhm.
Moore, right? First round pick,
Right.
second round pick, third round pick, fourth and fifth round pick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the conversation. I promise you these conversations are happening,
Yeah.
but what are we willing to give up? So, guys, put in the description below what are your thoughts on who we should go after on the offensive side of the ball to help us with depth. Again, I've talked about OBJ.
Mhm.
He's pretty much the only one I think we've talked about, right, Kyle, at this point?
Um, when I did my stream on Wednesday, a
Yeah,
lot of
okay.
us actually talked a lot about stuff. I mean, there's Elijah Moore we talked about, of course.
Yeah.
We talked
Well,
about DJ Moore. Um, see, there was an article that I looked at, and there was a couple of people that people um didn't like threw out there, and I can't remember exactly who they were. Like, you might want to go back in there and take a look and see what I was talking about there. Um,
yep.
But I mean, I like personally, like, I like DJ Moore over Elijah Moore, but I think we would have to pay or give up way too much for
A lot
DJ
more.
Moore. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, and the reason why I keep saying that, is that because Elijah Moore, I feel like he's toxic for the locker room right now because,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
I mean, the team's also 4-3. They're doing good, and he's being all bitchy about how the team's using him. It's like, I mean, it's not going to be any different in our system. Like Joe Lombardi does not reliably throw the ball to one receiver ever. It's like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like he just spreads it out. Like whoever's open is open. Like it's just
Yeah.
that's just how he does it. So, And I just don't feel like Elijah Moore would be a good fit for our scheme so much. Yeah, he's tall, he's fast and stuff like that, but that'd be good, and that's what we need. But I don't. I mean, with the way his attitude is, I don't see it working out at all.
Well, so let's think about this for a second. And again, guys, I'm going to do a deeper, wider video on Monday about this. One that Richie will enjoy is KJ Hamler from the Broncos. There are some discussions that Hamler is pretty upset because of Russell Wilson. We've all seen the videos, right? He's pissed off. Russell Wilson doesn't throw him the ball, such and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. KJ Hamler's a guy. Marquez Callaway, he's from the Saints. That could make some sense. He knows Joe Lombardi's offense. It's the Saints' offense, not Joe Lombardi's. Let's make that very clear. Joe Lombardi did not create this offense. He's utilizing it at this point. Day Westbrook, I don't know. There's so many people that are just thrown around. Like, okay, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I mean, here's what I think, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you watched our videos this week, the videos had a very specific pace and reason as to why they were going the way they were going. Because one, we wanted to talk about what's going on with the team, and then secondarily, how we can improve the teams. Also, the problem is that moving into this week, we've had injuries, but secondarily, we need to get people to help us get better.
Mm-hmm.
But does the Spanos family have more money? Right? I don't know that the answer is yes. I think the answer is no. We don't have money. We've already blown all of the money available from the Spanos family. And if you recall what I said about the Spanos family getting together with management, how much money is left over to be spent in free agency? I argue that probably no money is left over to be spent in free agency. Yeah. We've already blown it. We've blown our wad at this point. We have tapped out the Spanos coin purse or Santa Spanos's dollars that he has available. So what's your thoughts on that, Kyle?
I mean, yeah, like we kind of talked about that amongst ourselves, and like we 100% believe that the purse is cut.
Yep.
Yeah. They blew their load all up in the face preseason. Like they did a little 2-pump chump. Just straight up. Yeah. So
done deal.
Done. We done. We had explosive off season, and I was actually like surprised we actually kept going after. What was the last big trade that I think it was? Probably Kyle Van Noy. I think after Kyle Van Noy. Yeah. He was like the last big one that I think we picked up. And I was surprised that we kept going for players after even that, because I was like, we kind of want to save some money for like the trade deadline, to get some trades. Because, I mean, I kind of thought about this. I was like, dude, we're going to get injuries. No, it's a rough sport. Ain't no tickling match out there, baby. It's like Twister on steroids,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so, and I was just surprised that we didn't save anything for like this trade deadline. But it's just really wild.
But you're right. We blew our wad. We blew our wad. We blew it all. Like we went all in at the beginning, hoping to stay healthy, and we're not.
Right.
Hoping to stay healthy, and we're not. But my point is also, and again, Aether made a good point. I don't agree, Andrew. Trade can happen when it's more important contracts or younger players under contract. I get that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you go out for like a younger player that hasn't really performed a whole lot.
Sure.
With like a rookie contract or whatever. But most teams are not willing to give up those younger players, right? It's a value proposition for them. Great. I'll give you my guy that's under my rookie contract. But guess what? You're going to give me a 4th round pick because he's under his 4th. It's when we picked him in the 4th round or something of that nature, or 3rd round because his value's gone up. So, guys, it's a very interesting conversation. And again, here's why today is fascinating for me. And this is partially why Kyle and I were like, well, we got to do this video because These next 2 days are critical, guys. They're critical for our team to be successful, in my opinion, because with these damn injuries, guys, look, we lost. Think about this for just a second. Maybe this should be the next question, Kyle.
Hmm.
Where would we be if Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack were still on the field together?
Oh yeah,
Right?
that's a good one. Yeah.
Think about that for a second, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we would be better than 4-3 if Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa was on the field together at this point? What are your predictions that we would be at this point if Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa were still on the field?
Yeah.
Up to this point.
Yeah.
Because my argument is that we can draw this up all day that we would be I just think that we would be better. I would say at least 5-2.
Yeah.
At least.
At least. Yeah.
And
I mean,
we probably wouldn't have gotten donkey punched by the Jags,
Mm-hmm.
At least.
Yeah. That's
Oof.
what that's what S Faust 11 says as well. 5-2 at best. I think we could be at 6-1 at that point.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah.
But 5-2 is better than 4-3, right?
Yeah. 100%. And
especially going into a hard schedule, right?
Yeah. And we would have had a very decisive win against one of these teams.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we would have been able to shut down their offense by far.
100%.
But actually, I don't know though, because I mean, obviously, I'm not 100% sure about that though. I think it would have made either the Jaguars game or the Seahawks game here, make it so that they don't have a decisive win against us.
Yeah, for sure.
That's more likely. Yeah.
I mean, but my argument also is that, see, like a good example, right? We talk about offensive scheme and defensive schemes, and I think personally the offensive room is struggling with Joe Lombardi's play calling. I've said this from day one, moment one, section one.
Right.
Again, I think what we should have done during the bye week, and guys, agree or disagree with me 100% at this point, we should have let Lombardi go and had Shane Day be elevated, largely just to let the offensive room know, guys, you're on check. We want you to be successful. We think Lombardi is doing great, but unfortunately, he's not making this team the best that it can be. Let's elevate Shane Day for fresh eyes. Fresh eyes. Just think differently about the offense and bring a different mindset to it. To some degree, and guys, you know that I play sports competitively. I play softball, I play pickleball. I sometimes it's nice to have a different way of thinking. It just level sets everything all of a sudden. Boop. Okay. We were doing this. Now we're doing this. Right. And it could give Justin Herbert an opportunity to say, okay, I like this play. I like this play. I like this play. Let's run this. Let's run this. Let's run this. Here's why, yada, yada. On the defensive side of the ball, we wanted Ronaldo Hill to run the play calls, not Brandon Staley. And then Brandon Staley could just cover everything overhead. I love that idea. Sadly, it never happened. Right?
Yeah. Right.
But, and that's my point, right? Like, why didn't things happen?
Yeah.
I just think that our coaching staff decided, no, we have everything we need. We're just going to move forward.
Right.
And argue with me one way or the other. Now, maybe another question we should ask the chat is this. If we do not make the playoffs, will Tom Telesco and Brandon Staley be let go at the end of the season?
Yeah. Oh, I think some people actually asked that in the chat actually too.
Oh, they did already. Okay,
yeah,
so
I think so. Yeah,
let's throw that out there again because I think that's good. And by the way, guys, wow, you guys are throwing a lot of questions out. Keep them coming, guys. Seriously,
right.
I love you guys throwing out questions. We are missing quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, but again, my thoughts are that yes, I would think that if there is a wipe and we bring in a Sean Payton, he would wipe 110% at this point.
Oh,
It
right.
would be wiped. It would be wiped. It would
Well,
just be a complete clean slate.
the only thing with him is apparently he wants to be coach and GM. I'm not sure if Spanos is gonna give up that much power on that, you know? Like, I mean,
Wow.
because that's a huge thing. If he, because obviously it works really well with Bill Belichick, to do that, but then he's a very proven, uh,
Yeah,
coach,
guy. Yep.
obviously. So, that's a lot to do. Actually, I'm not sure if anyone actually did ask that question, but so I'll just put it up here. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm just gonna type it in and keep talking for a second.
Yeah, and yeah, type that in. And so and again, Anthony, you brought up a good point. Bosa is trending downwards. It pains me to hear you say that,
Hmm.
but that's very true. And there was a video I wanted to bring out also and talking a little bit about that as well too. That um, you know, Bosa and Allen might be trade bait at some point, right?
Yeah.
Um, that's a lot of money. And guys, we got to pay Justin Herbert, right? So it's not just conversations about this year, it's also conversations about next year. And again, it's so funny to me that we're having this conversation at 4-3, guys. Like, we
Right.
are so much better than so many other teams out there right now. But again, it's like, how are we really looking? We're not looking amazing. We're looking okay. I mean, yeah, we're better than Raiders. We're definitely better than the Broncos, I suppose. But are we really? You know what I mean? And so that's kind
Yeah.
of the argument, right? And so as fans, it's difficult. It's difficult, So, oh, guys, you guys are keep the thoughts coming, guys. I love this. Oh man,
Some good ones. So
yeah. I mean, yeah,
I was gonna say this though too. It's like I think obviously if the Chargers do not make the playoffs this year, uh, sadly I think not sadly, 1,000% Lombardi's gone. He has
oh,
to be gone.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And
I
it's
don't.
weird. It's weird that Staley loves him so much and keeps
Right.
saying he's so good and whatever. It's like
Right.
what are you missing here at this point?
Yeah, yeah. What are you
I don't know.
saying here? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, but I think Staley will stay on because historically, even while having like bad coaches and stuff, we've given them about 4 years still.
Yep.
Like we don't move on from a bad coach for at least 4 years. Um, and I'm not exactly sure why. Is that maybe part of the contract that we just are doing that? Uh, but I think we can easily move on from an offensive coordinator. I think. Um, with that said, I'm not actually sold on the idea of Shane Day to take up the slack there. Like, I mean, I wish that
Yeah.
we would find an offensive coordinator that is a little bit more experienced. Because obviously the last couple coaches that we've had have all been green coaches, rookie coaches, as far as head coach goes,
Yeah.
um, and so I would like to see some more veteran coaches, joining the team, and like, because like, and this is something that I mentioned on Wednesday, or not Wednesday, the Thursday night video that I did, is that like, are the Chargers becoming like a training ground for coaches? Like it's like, how many coaches have came out of the Chargers now? Like, and they started with us, and they're like, we
Look at
just like, oh,
Steichen.
okay, yeah, yeah, Steichen,
Steichen.
Colt McCoy,
Yep.
Anthony Lynn. Like, yeah, sure, they're not head coaches anymore, but they're still coaching. So
Yep.
like, they used the Chargers as a team to learn about coaching better, like, and learn what to do, not to do, and so that way they'll take that experience to another team and hopefully do better. So,
Yeah, and that's one thing I keep thinking about with Brandon Staley, right? Like,
mhm.
I love Brandon Staley as a coach. I know Aether loves Brandon Staley, and I think Brandon Staley is
Yeah,
a fantastic coach. He's got a great
right,
mind.
yeah,
But the argument is this about Brandon Staley. Is he ready to be a head coach now in the NFL?
right,
How much more does he have to learn? Let me give you a great case in point. Bill Belichick was a head coach a number of times before he
hmm,
got to New England, and then he started
yeah,
kicking ass in New England, right? It
yeah,
was not a beginning thing for
oh yeah,
him.
yeah,
He didn't become a head coach in New England, and all of a sudden
Right.
he's been the head coach forever. He was the Browns,
Yeah.
all these different locations, right? And so, man, it would just break. Let's say that, oh man, I mean, there's so many scenarios on that, right? And it just
Yeah.
frustrates me to think about it, because look, Brandon Staley is a great mind. He's a smart guy, great communicator, understands football, but maybe just hasn't had it click yet, right? It just hasn't
Right.
quite, or he didn't hire the right coaching staff. That's
Right.
part of it, right? We've
Yeah.
argued all day that Lombardi's a turd. He sucks, but anyways, it's one of those things, right? Like it's really interesting. So, guys, oh man, I love these comments, and I apologize. So we use a program called Restream,
Yeah.
and Restream is not showing me the chats. By the way, just so you know, Kyle, it's not showing me the chats on the side here. Just so you know. So,
Oh my god. Yeah. What the heck happened? It's not updating.
no, it's not updating. So I don't
Ah,
know why it's
shoot.
not doing
Okay.
it. So I'm gonna have to open up YouTube and see your chats as
Yeah.
well too, guys.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. I was wondering. I was like, why are we getting no more comments all of a sudden?
yeah, no, it's so funny because I'm looking at YouTube and it's like
Yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
popping in, so we're not seeing
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So keep your comments coming. But that's unfortunate because we cannot actually highlight them. That's the problem for the chat at this point. So just so you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if you see me looking to the side, I'm looking at your chat on the side here, just so you know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Um, you know, so again, so let's recap this a little bit at this point. And we've talked about a lot of different things up to this point. We've already gone 50 minutes at this point. So I think if we were healthy, we have the perfect team moving forward 100%.
Yeah.
The problem is we're not healthy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could look down the list. Everyone that we wanted to be on the field is not on the field. Okay.
Mhm.
And again, you could say, well, okay, maybe 5 or 6 players or whatever. No, we're talking damn near everybody that we want on the field is not on the field at this point, right? Save Justin
Yeah.
Herbert, who is hurt, by the way, still.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk about his injuries ever.
Mhm.
But clearly he is still not doing well. His passes are not as exactly accurate as they used to be across the board. So, it's one of those situations where we have to say, oh my God, like what's going on? But it would be nice to get some other players on board. I can understand why coaching staffs, and again, my thoughts for the next video, why the coaching staff would say, we have everyone we need, we just need to bring them back healthy.
Right.
And I don't disagree with that. But as fans, we want splash plays. We want things that make things interesting.
Right.
How is OBJ going to work into our system or not work into our system? What is he going to do? How is he going to make things work? Guys, that's the interesting situation with it, right? And so, it's a really interesting conversation moving forward. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's super,
And by the way,
super
this is amazing. H4 worst in the league in points allowed. Hilarious
Yeah,
because we were
true.
supposed to be the best team ever.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sorry we can't highlight that because of Restream is not working fairly well at this point. So
Yeah.
And you're right, the schemes are not working, which is frustrating.
Mhm.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say is that like there's so much that has gone wrong this season that have been completely out of our control, but there's a lot that has gone wrong that has been in our control, and that's the frustration that we're all facing right now. Like, I mean, Richie even posed the question. He was like, "Hey, so what the hell are you guys doing for the trades? How come we're not seeing anything?" And well, I mean, clearly, we're not making any moves because our purse is cut. And obviously, like maybe what the offers that Tom Telesco's trying to make here aren't what he wants to make. Like because and I don't think he wants to give up draft picks for whatever reason. Honestly, I think he should be a lot like freaking Sean McVay F them draft picks, bruh. Like, look, I mean, okay, like keep your first round draft pick because clearly you have a good record for first round draft picks, but second through seventh, they all suck. Like I mean, they've been terrible draft picks. And I keep talking about this as well. Is that historically none of his second to seventh round draft picks have gone to the Pro Bowl, and they haven't been super good. However, this year might be an exception because Jamari Salyer he's actually turned out to be quite a bit of a stud, and
He's
he
amazing. Yeah.
he should have gone first round, potentially second round at the latest, but like he was a massive discount. And so I'm just like, man, like just trade off those draft picks. Keep your first round and pick up some people.
Well,
Like,
so yeah,
yeah,
100%, right? And
yeah,
there's always such an interesting give and take on that conversation. By the way, the chat again, I
yeah,
apologize for looking to the side. I'm trying not to look to the side, but
yeah,
our chat thread is
yeah, yeah.
not working for some
Yeah, it's
reason.
not
So
working at all.
I'm trying to get to you guys. You guys were talking about the oh my god, yeah, well, Fire Tom, obviously. Yeah, Fire Tom, obviously. That's very exciting. But yeah, Pacific Beats. Seeing Tua with receivers with Herbert's skill set pains me. Blows me away. Right? Yeah, that's not showing
something
either,
to see
Kyle.
yeah, it's not even showing up at all. I was just trying to kickstart it.
No.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's
didn't do
crazy.
anything.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
so weird.
know why it's
Yeah,
not working.
yeah,
So clearly we need to call up Reese and have a conversation with them. So
yeah,
yeah, but I mean, you're right. Like what if Herbert had Hill and Waddle, that kind of speed? We don't have that, right? We don't have that at all. And it's tough. And we also have, Williams and Allen who are getting older guys. I guess that's the argument, right? This is kind of like the last year. Like let me give you some insights into the coaching staff, in my opinion.
okay,
At this point, they probably thought, okay, we're on Justin Herbert's rookie contract. We don't have to pay him shit.
yeah,
Like he's getting paid nothing. Like like $3 million a year or something like that. I mean, guys, I would love to get paid $3 million a year. I would love that. Having said that, I'm not Justin Herbert, throwing the rock around. But you got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams, you got the rest of Eckler. We can go on, right? The problem is these injuries are mounting up because, guys, guess what? They're getting older,
yeah,
right? And being a man that's leveled up in sports, age becomes a consideration, right? It just does. You pull a hamstring, you pull an ass muscle, you pull, whatever the hell you got, right? You just do. And those things start really affecting your ability to be successful. We're in this weird situation where I think they had this window of opportunity that was this big, and they thought, okay, let's hit this window and hope everything goes well. And up to this point, guys, it has not. That's the point, right? JC Jackson's another great example. He should be better than he was. He was horrible, didn't do well. He's out for the season.
yeah,
So it's one of those moments where you have to sit back and just say, damn, dude, where do you go from here, right? And I guarantee management saying, well, Mike Williams, Allen's not out for the year.
yeah.
Neither is Parham, neither is Palmer. They'll be back. I think we can limp along and make it work. We'll just put on it, bring up Bandy, bring up these other folks, and try and make it work with these other guys. But that's clearly the path of our staff at this point, right? Am I wrong at this point? Let me know down below, right? Because I would really like to see what your thoughts are. So, and yes, Francisco, I do think Palmer will probably play. He did have a concussion, but it was a very weird light concussion that wasn't really. It was just really odd, and it almost felt like out for a particular reason. And that's my thought. So I think he'll probably play against Atlanta, in my opinion. So
yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's back on. Parham and Palmer are both going to be available for the Falcons game. So until they get another concussion, you know, which is just a kind of a regular occurrence for those two. It seems like, you know. So here's yeah, you know, Anthony. Someone actually talked about. There's a lot of talk about Justin Herbert in there right now, and there was a comment that I can bring up here that happened early
Yep.
on. SF Faust actually brought it up, and because he just talked about Justin Herbert as well here. This is an interesting thought. Have y'all heard about Herbert's negative body language at the Seahawks game? He seemed very upset. And that's a very good thing though too, because Herbert's clearly he's never going to speak bad or speak ill about anything. You know,
100%.
I was on to one of the Twitter Spaces one time, and we were talking about that. I think if DZ's still in the chat, he was talking about it a lot about how, you know, we kind of see Justin Herbert kind of as a maybe he's made it in a factory as far as football goes, like a football factory, and like, you know, he's like a Terminator because he's just like he has a lot of canned answers. I would say, like, where he just like, oh yeah, I just want
Yeah.
to talk about football, and what I'm doing in the off season is I just kind of throw the ball around with my brother, you know, like and stuff like that, you know. But we can see how he really feels about the play calling and about the team, and you can see his frustrations through his body language, you know, and that's actually something he's probably going to work on even more so, and he'd be very neutral about it in some way, and like and really just kind of like I mean, I could say too he'd probably holding on to that podium like kind of got like a death grip in there, you know, like in the if he lets go, you can see his like finger print nails dug into like the podium or something like that, you know. how mad he is,
A
you know.
competitor. He wants to
Yeah,
win. I
of
mean, he
course.
wants to win.
Yeah. So
And I mean, I'm a competitor. I want to win. Every time I go
yeah,
out there, I want to hit freaking nukes.
mhm,
I want to hit home runs. I want to
right,
win. I want to beat the
yeah,
team I'm playing against. I don't
right,
care about their thoughts or their
yeah,
opinions. I
exactly,
want to beat the team I'm playing against.
right,
And my view, and I promise you that's what Herbert thinks as well.
yeah,
And it's tough. And I think maybe again, it's something that was brought up a number of episodes a while ago.
hmm,
People were asking, what would make Herbert a better quarterback?
mm,
What I said was running.
yeah,
Clearly, this coaching staff has not allowed Herbert to actually run the offense the way Herbert wants to run the offense, like a Peyton Manning,
yeah,
you know, like a Phil Rivers or whatever, right? I
yeah.
mean, Phil Rivers clearly ran the offense the way he wanted to run it. What are you guys' thoughts on that, right? Because maybe ask the question: should
Yeah,
this coaching staff allow Justin Herbert to run most of the plays? My argument would be yes. Now, I know it's
absolutely.
only his third year, but Joe Lombardi could give him 3 plays and then let him run one of those 3 plays or check down to the other 2 plays for him, right? Why is that not happening? Now,
Hmm.
I hope to God that conversation happened during the bye week, right?
Hmm.
But I'm starting to think that our coaching staff is a micromanaging staff in the sense that they're not allowing that to happen. So,
Yeah,
what are your thoughts down below? Okay, yeah, yes.
yeah. There's a lot of people
Um,
talking about that, and like they definitely believe, I totally agree that Herbert can totally run this offense. He's a smart guy.
he
He
should run
can
it. He should run it. He's
he should
very
totally
smart.
be able to do it. Yeah, super smart. He should absolutely be able to
Well,
do
and
it.
not
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, yeah, it's like because like, you know, I mean, uh, and the truth is though too is like all he needs to do is just, you know, be free to make calls a little bit more, you know, and just, you know, have some of his own like favorite plays that he likes, you know, and you know if the situation sees the matchup is like, okay, they're going man to man, okay, let's do this one instead, like they're doing zone, okay, do this one instead, you know. It's I don't think it's that difficult of a thing for uh him to do, and just to make a few adjustments just right then and there, you know.
Not only that, guys, this is really easy. Let's say Joe Lombardi says, "Okay, here's a run play, here's a pass play."
Hmm.
Okay? In the huddle, he gives a run play and a pass play. And there we go.
I think it's starting to work again now.
We're
Yeah,
finally back up.
Yeah.
Because like it was super strange. Now it's finally working.
Yeah.
That's so aggravating, guys. It's
super
annoying
angry.
because it's just hard because we have two screens and it's like, wow, this is just awesome. But here's my point. This is how Peyton Manning ran it. He would get two to three plays every time.
Yeah.
Call 2 to 3 plays in the They were out of the same formation, though. Just keep in mind, they were out of the same formation. If he were to audible, what he would do is he would say, okay, great. Run play, pass play, and then he would check to whatever would go to the next play, right? Okay, well, I'm going to run an audible. So then people would move around, or there would be movements behind the line to get in the formation for that second play, depending on the defensive scheme. Guys, that is very valuable. Now, I will make this argument, though, that I've read a lot of articles that state that doesn't make sense moving forward because of the analytics discussion that has been happening with the NFL, right? The view is that because analytics are so solid, you don't need to audible. You should just do what you are told as a football player. But as a player, if you're doing things working, guess what? You're going to have the body language like Justin Herbert is going to have after a football game because he wants to fucking win, right? He wants to win the football game.
Yeah.
And that's my point. So it's an interesting argument, right? Because you can sit back all day and say, well, he could do it. Well, yeah, he can do it. But analytics, which Brandon Staley likes, doesn't quite say to him that he should be to check Peyton and Phil Rivers did. So, guys, it's a fascinating argument. It's fascinating to think about because it truly is, right? You have to understand these guys are up in a booth crunching so much information and figuring out what this person should do to win. They're taking it away from the players a little bit. They kind of are.
Yeah.
And that's the argument. And guys, it might be killing the game to some degree. There's arguments both ways on that too. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know, man. Like it's just frustrating to see how the Chargers are acting this year, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're definitely not looking like a team that's cohesive, 100%.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball. Now, again, you never want to start making arguments about injuries and injuries are this, injuries are that. Let's point fingers at people. That doesn't help.
Yeah.
But there are discussions around and holy shit, we suck in the first quarter. It's 110% coaching.
Yep.
Guys,
I was going to bring that up. Yep.
You are okay. I knew you were thinking about the same thing. That is 100% coaching. First quarter coach, and we 14 points, 17 points, something like that at this point. Terrible.
We average 3 points in the first quarter, and we get outscored in the first quarter like literally 9 times out of 10. Yeah, something like that. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, in our first drive, like our first 15, we've never scored off of that at all.
And again, guys, like we're not saying this to be negative. We're saying this to be realistic, right? Because it's okay to have an open discussion about your team and where your team is progressing, right? Joe Lombardi, Brandon Staley always talks about trending positive. We're not trending positive. I think we're trending negative at this point.
Yeah.
Now
I agree.
The week and successful, right? That's the part of the conversation, right? So I know there's a lot here now. So we're over an hour at this point, guys. We didn't want to even be over an hour. We did not show these. It's frustrating because we want to highlight your question, but now it's finally showing it to us. So, okay, pop it down there. Maybe show Aether's thought there about Coach Staley, and
Yeah.
then
There you
we'll
go.
kind of go. We'll start going from here, guys. So throw your questions out again at this point for sure.
Yeah.
And I'll try not to be completely out of the camera at this point because that's a big question. Okay.
Yeah. Right. There you go. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But you're right though, Jesus. There. Yeah. Andrew is lagging quite a bit every once in a while. His internet. What he's having some weather out there. But it seems to be pretty smooth right now. But it just kind of happens every once in a while. But yeah.
Yeah. So I
Uh.
apologize, Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. So Aether says here, I believe Coach Staley is going to give Lombardi all the weeks to get his stuffs together. However, change will happen after the season because you need time to look for new offensive common senses. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I kind of feel like that as well. Like, I feel like, Staley, he likes his guys, he wants the consistency. And there is a lot to say about consistency with a team. But if that consistency ain't good, it's just insanity. Because if
Yeah.
you're consistently doing the same thing over and over and over and it's not working over and over and over, that's insanity. Period. Hands down.
Well, that's the definition of insanity, right?
Yeah.
Doing
Right.
something the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Right.
I like your thoughts here, LA Suckers. Dink and dunk for the rest of the season. Hooray! No, look, I read an interesting article. Mia Kimes made a point that potentially with the injuries that Herbert's had, that's why he's not throwing the ball down the field a whole lot. Right? Again, you need your ribs, your obliques, your whole body to move the ball down the field easily. So, I think there's a lot to be said about that. And Zach, I agree. I think that Herbert, given a little more time, will have a better. I'm hoping to God that he stays healthy the rest of the season. Okay. And this gives him enough time to be 100% healthy and move forward, right? That's what I want to see. But again, we've got to drive the ball down the field. And this dink and dunk thing is not going to work, especially with the offensive schemes that we're running with Lombardi, because Lombardi, dude, it's the same formation. It's the same thing over and over again. And not respecting RPO either. It's funny because I was watching the Ravens game the other day with Lamar Jackson. And the problem is that when you run RPO, you have to at least believe that the quarterback is going to run the ball potentially to the edge. Okay. Nobody thinks Justin Herbert's going to run the ball to the edge if they run RPO because he's hurt. That's the point. So RPO is completely off the table.
Right.
But with Lamar Jackson, they don't care. Like, no, let Lamar run it. And he's by far the best player on the field anyways. We all know that. He's fantastic, or at least the best athlete. So there's a lot to be said about that type of conversation moving forward with the offense. And that's where it gets really sticky moving forward.
Yeah.
So, in a weird way, I'm excited that we're playing the Falcons after the game or, off our bye week. At least they're an easier team than, the Patriots or I wouldn't say Patriots this year, but, the Chiefs or, whoever, Bills, right? But, dude, I kind of feel like I'm going to hit the panic button if we get our ass kicked by the Falcons. You know what I mean?
Oh, and clearly. I mean,
good Lord.
we already talked about that. We threw some red flags out there for when we lost to the Jaguars, and then 100% the bells are ringing, because of and there ain't no flags anymore because of the Seahawks. So we got a freaking fire alarm going on right now, So it's bad shit for us right now for sure,
Well, and it's been a weird season too, though, right? Like we've seen teams be very good and very crappy the next day. And I read another article a while ago. By the way, guys, I read a lot. I literally have 8 articles up in my tab above Restream right now that I'm just reading, and I'm not reading it as I'm chatting with you guys. But
yeah,
Mia Kimes had this interesting conversation about how, look, part of the reason why on average this year, we are down 10 points per game on average per scoring, every team. 10 points per game. You realize that? Well, what is the defense just better? I would argue no, right? Because all the rules are designed to support the offense scoring
Right.
points. Everyone wants
Yeah.
to see points scored,
Yeah.
right? But what does that mean? And you could argue, and Mia Kimes specifically said this. By the way, I think Mia Kimes is so sexy. Oh my God. Mia Kimes, hit me up.
Yeah.
Hit me up. I will take you out. I'll buy you a steak dinner. If you're a vegetarian, I'll buy you the best squash dinner you can ever get. Buy you whatever you want, babe. Anyways, love you, Mia. But she made an interesting comment about how part of the reason why offense is potentially so bad is the preseason, none of the players play. None of the actual starters play, right? They're out there scrimmaging, they're doing their own thing. And it takes 5 or 6 games for any given player to even get their head into the game. And you wouldn't want that to be the case, but God, it seems like that's the case, right?
Yeah.
Because we've had so much sputtering of offense across the board.
Right.
You see flashes of brilliance, but then horribleness, right?
Right. I don't know, man. The chat's pretty active right now, though. We've got some predictions rolling in.
Yeah, let's see some predictions, guys.
You want to see some predictions? Okay, so okay, I think Aether has like the most predictions going on right now. Here you go. Okay, Zach first. Here you go. Next week prediction: Herbert completes 42 passes for 180 yards.
Damn, 42 passes. Those are some short ass passes, dude.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
No yards after catch.
Good Lord. Yeah, that's like nothing.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. Right. And guys, by the way, smash the like button, please. Please. There's 50 people in here at least, so let's smash the like.
Yeah, man.
The Queefs. I love that. The Queefs. Pablo, you're the best.
Yeah, he's so good. Primo Pablo, what's up? Yeah.
I don't know, joke, right?
Yeah, what are we doing? We're freaking getting a second round guy that we drafted in 2015. Yeah, Tachu, dude. It's like, what are we doing?
He's horrible, dude.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Again, guys, this is my thought. I think our coaching staff thinks we have everything we need to win. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that, right?
Yeah.
Aether, okay, no more 10 games. Charge them in the playoffs. Lombardi will be the reason. Look, I hate Lombardi. I really do.
Yeah.
And again, in the NFL, I've always said this over and over again. If you are predictable, you are dead.
Yep.
Guys, we are predictable. That's 100% the truth. We're predictable.
Didn't you talk a lot about how the defense, the Seahawks defense, adjusted to a too high or too top thing for the for the rest of the game, and it just completely shut us out. You know, it's just
and
we
they
did
basically
no
ran
against that. Yeah,
they ran our defense against us and ran it better than we run our own defense. That's the part that pisses me off. In fact, that actually pisses me off more than anything. Is they ran our defense better than us,
right?
And that's a Staley problem, right? That's not just a Lombardi problem. That's a Staley problem. But that's the reason why there's so many checkdowns. Okay, so let's see. Anthony Joseph, easy schedule is over now. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
and I think this is partially why fans are so frustrated and stressed out because yes, the easy schedule is done. It would be I would feel much more comfortable at 5-2, than 4-3, right?
Yeah. But even then, though,
two games, good God, 2 games. Woo.
Even then, though, like, I wouldn't be comfortable with 5-2 unless we had a decisive win, and we don't. Like we haven't been able to shut down defenses or offensives at all. We haven't been able to like beat the turds out of like freaking other teams with our offense.
Beat the turds.
I don't know. It's just my
beat
brain
the shiznit.
Yeah. You know.
Beat the turds. I don't know why that sounds so funny.
It sounds funny. Yeah. Beat the turds. Yeah.
Guys, okay, so just so you know, in the YouTube chat, every once in a while it gives me these like little things that says, "Hey, you shouldn't post this." I'm going to post everything I possibly can.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to just chat.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this is an open forum. We don't
Open
we're
form
not
100%,
we're
right?
not
A big
trying to
reason why
censor nothing, you know? Yeah.
yeah,
Except
exactly.
except for the sex bots when they come through.
Yeah, no, the sex bots will show up here at some point, guys. So I
Yeah.
apologize about that, guys. That's not good, not good. Um,
Yeah.
no, but it's an interesting situation to think about. So, um, I'm going to give my prediction, guys, and I want you guys to know this too, right? I want to go on record. I know a lot of people have criticized me for my disapproval of Brandon Staley. I like Brandon Staley very much, but I'm not happy with his coaching staff. Lombardi being the number one in my opinion, because he's not doing anything interesting or making the offense better. If anything, he's making the offense regress, right? That's why I've always said that. I think Brandon Staley's an excellent head coach, but he's just young, making bad choices. And I think that'd
Yeah.
be the general consensus of most people when they look at Brandon Staley in general. I think he has all the right tools. Having said that, my argument is, did we hire him too early? Did we hire him too early? And I think the answer might be yes.
Yeah.
The answer might be yes. That makes me sad. But again, in this channel, we've said this over and over again. I want to be realistic rather than blow smoke up people's asses. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to say what I really think and what I really think is 100% accurate. And that's what I think. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I actually feel like I think we can go 5-5 for the rest of the season. You know?
And
I
if we
mean,
did that, we'd make the playoffs, probably.
yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
So, because that's right. Right. We'd be 4-3. So we would be 9-8.
Nine
I
and
don't
eight.
know. Would we make the playoffs at 9-8? I mean,
Well, I mean, we didn't make it last year, but last year
yeah.
was a weird situation.
Right. Right.
But if we go 9 and 8,
Hmm.
but then again, the argument would be, do you still want to keep Telesco? Do you still want to keep Brandon Staley at that point,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because nine
Right.
and eight is kind of crappy.
That's the same thing that we had last year. I would rather. I mean, if we did 10-6, I would feel better about it, like because
100%.
it's a slight improvement. Or actually, no, it would be 10-7. This,
10 and 7.
yeah,
Yep.
10-7. So that would be better. But Aether, he has a different thought here. He thinks we're gonna go 8-2 this half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, Aether. Hey,
Uh,
let's screenshot this right now because I think that'd be absolutely incredible. I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now, look, I wish that I would feel that way. It's so hard because we're playing our tough schedule right now.
Yeah.
Well, now the argument would be, and this is where Aether's saying, "Hey, look, we're going to be playing better football the second half of the season." I hope to God that's
Mhm.
the case. I really
Yeah.
do. I really do. I mean,
Yeah.
at no point does anybody on our channel want us to not play better football,
Of
but we're
course.
not playing convincing football. That's the argument. We're just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Um,
And SF Faust, as Faustio, he says the same thing. 9-8, wild card, lose first round to Chiefs.
oh God, don't
Yeah,
tell me that. The Queefs,
the
the
Quakes.
Queefs, right?
Yeah,
The
that's
Queefs.
right.
That's disgusting, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good.
No, but look,
Oh, people are getting mad at Anthony Joseph for this one, but I think this one is possible. Easy schedule is done now. Now we face better teams. Doesn't look good for us. Losing streak coming. Yeah.
look, guys, there's some arguments both ways about that. And look, I want to say this with Anthony, right? And again, this is the hard part of the schedule. We've said this
Yeah.
from day one. It
Exactly.
really is.
Yeah.
And I can sit back all day and say, well, we're going to be great. We're going to be amazing. I want to be realistic, right?
Mm-hmm. Same.
The argument about the Chargers has always been this. What do you hear every year from the Chargers? Great team, so much talent,
Yeah.
can't seem to make it work.
Yep.
Why does that conversation never change?
I don't know, man.
And we keep talking injuries, we keep talking coaching staffs. There's always excuses.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell are we not winning? I keep hearing articles about cursing and you're horrible and look, bottom line, we need to be better, right? We just do. And it's funny because that's exactly what the coaching staff keeps saying. Oh, we got to be better. We got to execute. And I hate those keywords because those
Yeah.
keywords are just keywords.
Yeah.
They're bullshit words that
Mhm.
people say. Guys, I'm in sales. I can say bullshit words all day. And they're just bullshit words. They're bullshit words. Now, as negative as we sound right now, the key to fixing negativity is what? Winning a fucking football game.
Mhm.
Right? Let's win a
Convincingly.
fucking football game
Yeah.
and we'll win.
Yeah. I know, yeah, we wanna see action. Words are only, what's the term for it for words? The words only
Actions
cut.
speak louder than words.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. That's one way. I was thinking maybe like words only or cut skin deep or something like that.
Bullshit
I don't.
talks. Wait,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Bullshit
Bullshit. No.
talks, money walks, or something like that.
No,
Something like
no,
that.
no, 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 no. It's yeah. What's the term?
There's a lot of
Bullshit.
sayings out there. I don't
Bullshit.
know.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Bullshit walks and something like that. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
you can
yeah,
help
yeah.
with that. But
But
no.
yeah,
But you're
so
right though.
yeah,
It's a good
it's like
point.
we just need to see it happen. Like they keep talking about, oh, we need to improve, we need to do this, whatever. But we're not fucking seeing it. You know,
Yes. Yes.
they're
Yes.
they're not making any adjustments. Like they're just sitting there and they just let's do the same play over and over and over because this one worked. Let's do that one worked this time. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, it's like it didn't work that time. What the hell? Why? I don't
Let's just
understand
do it
it.
again. Let's do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So the good news is, guys, we're not the Raiders. That is a pile of dog shit right now. They are freaking horrible, dude. Guys,
Hey,
so at least we have some solace. We can look at our Raider fans and go,
family, trust,
screw
respect.
you.
Yeah.
Screw you.
You know, maybe they're just intentionally tanking because is there some player that's in college right now that they really want? Maybe
Probably a
yeah.
new quarterback. I mean,
You
Carr is
know,
horrible.
well, they talked about it that Tom Brady, he was actually talking about going to the Raiders. And
Yeah,
like
he
but then
did talk about that. Yeah.
yeah, he didn't he said it without saying it.
Yeah.
But like yeah, they was on the table for them. They backed out last minute. So it's like, really? You're going with that guy? Shit. Man. Oh, man, but playoffs though, like I don't know, guys. It's
Playoffs?
playoffs. Yeah, Herbert was there.
Playoffs?
Yeah, yeah.
Playoffs?
Yep.
Guys, and I apologize. We've had major problems with the chat, and I really
Yeah.
apologize, guys. So maybe we should wrap up here. I know
Yeah.
we're going way long in the tooth, an hour and a half at this
Yeah.
point. And guys, we could talk forever.
Right.
And guys, please smash the like button. Please
Yeah.
smash the like button. There's 50 people in here. Just hit the like button
Yeah.
on your
Really
way out
appreciate
or
it,
whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So maybe wrap up. Kyle, what are your thoughts? And then maybe we'll wrap up at this point. And then we'll go from there.
Like I said, I think we're clearly trade deadline's coming up.
Yep. Tuesday, boys.
Tuesday. We ain't doing nothing. It's just happening. Like, and someone actually mentioned it too in the chat that Tom Telesco has never really done a good midseason trade, or made any waves in the midseason. So that's going to be a constant and a consistent thing this year. We're not going to see a wide receiver show up. We're not going to see a cornerback or edge rusher show up. Besides the stupid, pick that we did with a Tachu, whatever, which is like weird to say.
It's like, who cares about that at all?
Yeah, but I am predicting, of course, that not much is going to happen when it comes to adjustments being made. Lombardi's going to keep doing Lombardi things, and we're going to just keep seeing the same thing happen over and over until the season's done. And I do think that we are going to make the playoffs still. I'm hopeful for that. It's going to be wild card probably for us, maybe sixth seed at best, in my opinion. Because I'm adjusting my overall record for the season. I think at best we're doing 10-7. That's kind of what I'm expecting and what I'm thinking is going to happen. So I'm saying 6-4 for the last half of the season. But the sad part is even if we make the playoffs, I think we're still gonna stick with Lombardi.
Which makes me sad.
It's so still silly to me. Like I don't understand why we even we didn't let him go anyways. as soon as bye week started, he should have been gone. Then we would have had
Yeah.
2 weeks with a new offensive coordinator, with a new scheme, and learning something, but we didn't, because
Yep.
the Chargers gonna Charger, and that's just it. Anyways, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Well, go ahead and
Yeah.
wrap
So
up.
I'll say this. My thoughts are Lombardi has just frustrated me from beginning to end. Even last season, he frustrated me.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think the reason why Lombardi's here is we're 4-3. I don't think Brandon Staley wanted to pull the ripcord on him just yet. And I do think this coaching staff thinks we have the right team to make the playoffs. And I do agree that we do have the right team to make the playoffs. Having said that, we have been hurt. We have been hurt. And my thoughts are, and I will say this, I think we're going to make the playoffs, but I think we're
Yeah.
going to squeak in. We're going to squeak in. We're going to turn it around. We'll have some good wins. Guys, make no mistake about it. This team rests on Justin Herbert's shoulders 110%.
Yep.
110%. There's nobody in that locker room more important than Justin Herbert. You know that. I know that. We know that. If we can get Justin Herbert being as healthy as he needs to be, we're going to be in fine shape. He's just got to be healthy. He's got to be healthy. And that's the concern that I have at this point, right? So, but again, I think we'll make the playoffs. I think it'll be a little bit ugly. I think we're going to have some good wins. We're going to have some ugly wins. We'll have some surprising wins here moving forward. I'm excited for the second half of the season.
Yeah.
And I'm optimistic. I am optimistic. I know we probably don't sound optimistic, but I am optimistic. I like to be a realist to some degree, right? I like to think, again, this channel has made me a better fan because
Mhm.
I look at our team with open eyes, right? I don't
Yeah.
sit back and think, oh, it's all rainbows and sunshine. It's not. It's not. And we're going through a patch of, yes, we're winning games that probably we should have beaten the team more.
Yeah.
And that's the argument. But I'm hopeful. I think we'll make the playoffs. And I really hope we get healthy at the end of the season and make a run, because that would be absolutely epic. And what a great story that would be as fans,
Yeah.
right? Because we can
That'd be
sit
huge.
back, we can sit back and partially a selfish reason why we do these videos also is that we can come back, Kyle and I, and look at these videos of us talking about our team and saying, this is what I predict. How right were we? How wrong were we? Right? It's kind of a journal of the season,
Yeah.
right? I really enjoy that. So
Yeah.
I'm really hoping we make it, guys. And guys, you guys are
Yeah, me too.
amazing. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Thank you guys
And
so much for the comments and in making this a discussion with us,
yeah,
just wish that we can actually hear you guys' voice as well, not just in the chat. So, and I'll be floating around in the Twitter spaces for just listening to people talk and stuff like that in chat. So, yeah, man.
yeah. And guys, also check us out on Twitter and on Instagram. Kyle's posted some really cool photos on Instagram. There's a lot of different content
Yep.
in all of our social medias as well. Check
Yep.
us out on all the different locations because we are posting different content all over the place, right? So it's a very
Mhm.
common thing that we're doing. So, yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're everywhere you want to be. We're obviously we're here on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on even as on the podcast side, we're basically on everything. Apple, Google, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, uh freaking Stitcher, there all these random other places, so
Yeah, we're
we're out
everywhere.
there. Yeah.
You
So
can't get rid of us, guys. You can't get rid
yeah.
of us. We're sticky. We're sticky.
But yeah. But I will say the most latest and greatest content will always be YouTube first. So
YouTube first. Yes. Yes.
yes, that's
100%.
right. We're definitely a YouTube first organization, or show, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. And you're right, and the best thing is we got Herbert and he's young and he's gonna have a bright future for us. I just hope that we don't waste his talent. That's my last
100%.
thoughts. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Alrighty, guys. Andrew Boboros here.
and Kyle, we out of here. We'll catch you
Let's get it.
next week for the Falcons. The Dirty Birds coming.
Dirty Birds. We're
Yeah.
gonna donkey punch them hoes. Boom. Boom.
Oh, and by the way, we do have a special guest lined up for our chat. I believe we're going to be talking with them on Wednesday. It is the podcast called the Out of Your Falcon Mind. And so it'll be good. It'll be a good little discussion talking with them about the Falcons and getting to know them a little bit better too. So hope to see you guys there, and just keep an eye out. We do content all the time, so we'd love to hear from you, and you keep up the comments, and we're always in the chat thread as well. So let's just go, man. We'll let you guys get going to the rest of your day. I know Guilty as Charged is going live here in a little bit, so maybe we'll talk to you guys as well in there. So
Absolutely.
as always, bolt up, don't punt. Bolt Bros, let's go.
Let's get it.